Hi everyone, it's Richard Payne here from Keller Williams Real Estate right here in Halifax, Nova Scotia, talking to you about the hidden costs of selling your home, because everybody knows all the costs associated with buying a home, of which the biggest one here in Halifax, Nova Scotia is the deed transfer tax at 1.5% of purchase price, flat rate, which is different to Ontario, but still 1.5% of purchase price. But today I want to talk to you and give you some insight really, so that if you're looking to sell your home, you should be aware of all the different costs that are associated with that. So the first one is property taxes. Now, property taxes are usually paid either monthly or they're on your mortgage, or you can actually pay them for a whole year in advance. But one thing is absolutely for sure is you will not get away with selling your home and still owing taxes from the start of the calendar year to when you actually let the new buyer take possession. So that's one thing to bear in mind. Now, it's great if you've paid for the whole year in advance, because guess what? You've got some money coming back from the seller. Yay! However, you still have to make sure that you pay them. Now, the biggest one as well is, don't forget, there's mortgage payouts. So if you've had a fixed rate mortgage, or even a variable rate, but really the fixed rate mortgage is going to be the higher amount of money that you're going to pay on a mortgage cost for a payout. But you'll still end up ringing up and talking to the lender to find out how much is that breakage cost, because it can be pretty substantial, you know, especially if you've just got into a 5-year fixed or a 3-year fixed. You know, the bank wants to recoup that money. So bear in mind that, find out the number in advance before you think of selling, so it's not a surprise. The one thing we're trying to do here is make real estate simple. You don't need any surprises when you're selling your home, so find that number in advance. Location certificate. People sometimes have these location certificates and sometimes people don't. So the big question for you is, if you have it from the purchase time, keep it. If you don't have it, you might want to go ahead and find out the cost, about $400 or $500, but go and get them, as opposed to title insurance, which is almost a after the event type thing for the buyer. The buyer might say, no, I want a location certificate, so find out the cost of that. Legal fees. So yes, they're not going to be as bad as buying, because buying is a lot more work, a lot more energy, a lot more effort, signing mortgage documents on closing day, all of these things, but you will still have to have them. So somewhere between $400 to $600 is the typical amount here in Nova Scotia that you could expect to pay if you were looking at mortgage. Moving costs. Unless you're going to do it yourself, in which case, good luck, you might be a little bit crazy out there, then maybe you should look at getting a moving company and to give you a quote for how much it is. And we've certainly got 2 or 3 companies that we can refer to you that we've used in the past that are absolutely awesome. So give me a shout if you need those. And then the final one is, what about breakage costs for leases? Maybe you've got a utility agreement in place where you've leased a furnace or something like that, or an alarm. Now, the buyer might not want to take on that, so you need to find out really how much that could cost as well. So those are just some of the hidden costs that you need to be aware of if you're thinking of selling your home. And as always, I am here to help you get handle on those numbers. So if you need to, please feel free to call me on 902-489-1804, or you can email me, richard@richardpayne.ca, because we are here to make your real estate simple.